Ed, Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go. Here we go. College football, week 5. This is a first, folks. This is a first. Our resident college football expert, Mr. Eddie, over here, not to be confused with the horse, Mr. Ed, picked a whopping 2 out of 10 games. I'm impressed.
If 2 out of 10 is whopping, then how about his 2 out of 16 pick?
That's not as whopping. That's more of like a...
Gaping.
Trouncing?
I like that. In Edgar's defense here, I'm going to have to say it was upset central in college football this weekend.
It was upset Saturday.
5 out of the top 10 teams lost. 6 out of the top 11 teams, if you count Oregon.
Quick.
That's good.
How many teams in the top 11?
12. And that's good news for your Trojans,
Only missed it by 1.
Let's start off with USC at Washington.
Played the worst game they've played in the last 5 years, but they still won. That's all that counts.
27-24. I said they wouldn't cover. These guys said they would. That's all I'm saying.
It shows in the rankings now. LSU leapfrogging USC, #1 in the AP poll.
Which is another debate that maybe we can talk about later.
We don't even need to talk about the AP because it's worthless. We're BCS here.
True. USC was booty. Let's move on. We'll move on to LSU at Tulane.
Slept throughout 3 quarters and then finally woke up. Not very impressed with LSU either.
LSU, I don't know if any team can go unbeaten in the SEC. It's too tough. Just ask Florida.
Well, Florida, can they go unbeaten in the SEC?
Even the crappy teams are pretty good in the SEC.
They're okay. They're not bad. Pac-10, I think, is pretty good too. They got 5 teams now in the top, 3 teams in the top 5 now.
You're right.
If Oregon makes it there, which some people they put in their poll, so we'll have to wait until Monday.
Let's move on to good old Joe Pa, Penn State.
I don't know. The voters love Joe Pa. I think it's a sympathetic pick every year because he's a jolly old man.
Why does he have your pick?
I feel like he's like my grandpa. I want to sit on his lap.
That's the thing. That's why people vote for him. Penn State is the most overrated team every single year.
You sat on your grandpa's lap?
I want to sit on his lap and have him touch me in inappropriate places. Let's move on. We'll move on to Cal at Oregon. We got Oregon.
This whole blog is inappropriate right now.
Oregon, a disappointing loss at home. Tell lies? Yeah, why not? We'll move on to Cal at Oregon. We got Oregon losing, and I'm shocked. Because right when I said Dixon is in, just like dicks in your mouth, they go ahead and they get lost. They lose at home. What do you have to say about your What do you have to say about your Bears?
I don't know, I'm a little shocked about the dicks in your mouth comment, right?
Alright. Aside from that, you got something to say about your Cowboys? Because we are going in a couple weeks.
Oh, they're my Cal Bears?
Yeah.
I can tell by my hat. I'm representing my alma mater this week, Johns Hopkins Blue Jays.
Alright, let's move on. Cal at Oregon.
Did you graduate?
It is.
Cal at Oregon, what do you guys have to say about that, Ed? Because I think you picked Oregon, didn't you?
I did pick Oregon, but I did say that turnovers is going to play a big factor in the game.
It did do that.
I also said home court advantage, and then you corrected me, said home field advantage.
Right.
I remember that as well.
And
I chose Oregon, and it would have been right if the idiots didn't turn it over 3 times in 3 possessions.
If some buds can't get that, Edgar, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
That's right. Another big upset this week. Number 5, West Virginia losing at the Bulls, South Florida. Go.
South Florida's for real?
They are for real.
Didn't you pick West Virginia to go to a BCS title game?
No, I'm not college football. I'm NFL and Major League Baseball.
And how many damn teams are in Florida anyway? That's what I want to know.
Like 32.
It's a hotbed capital for football.
Among other things.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on to Virginia Tech, Eddie, who you said was going to trounce North Carolina.
I don't think I used the word trounce ever in my life. I think it's you and this guy who use that.
I think you used the word prance.
I think you used prance here.
What do you have to say about Virginia Tech? Feel good story? Has everyone forgot about what happened in the off-season?
That's irrelevant to what's going on on the field.
As opposed to the rest of our...
So let's just say there's like a random act of violence and shootings on your college football campus. They should win the national title.
I mean, that's why they were ranked so high to start off in the first place. They got the sympathy Joe Pa vote.
This guy a moron?
No, he's not.
I'm convinced he's a moron. That's why they were ranked, is because people died on the campus.
People felt bad for them. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm college football, but I'm better than 2 out of 10. Let's move on to our men and women in the armed forces. You got something to say about Air Force and Navy?
I just want to say thank you guys for all that you do.
What about your picks?
I think I took Air Force +3.
Why? Because they have the Jets?
No, I took them +3 because I thought they had the running game to win it, but apparently I was wrong. Had an off week this week.
I was shocked you were wrong. We'll move on finally to Auburn at number 4, Florida. You know, I said Tim Tebow, Heisman. What happens? He goes and blows it.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was my lock for the week, and I think I nailed it.
Hey,
so, you know.
See, but that's big. If you get your lock of the week and like miss every other game, I'm down with that.
I said that Auburn, if they want to be mentioned with the elite teams, the USC's and the Floridas, they can't go and lose by 18 points to this team. I said they're going to step up.
It's like,
and I also Auburn is going to spoil some fantasies in the SEC. It's like not like those sexy fantasies you have about Eddie.
You're right. It's like being in a three-point shootout and hitting the money ball, but missing the first four.
You'll take it.
I'll take it. Eddie, would you?
I'll take it.
When's the last time you hit a three-pointer? All right. Finally, let's move on to Oklahoma at Colorado, another top 10 team. This one, number 3, gets dropped. Can you pick? Who'd you pick on this one?
Did I say rumble this week?
I meant stumble.
I heard you say stumble.
No, yeah, that's what
I think it was a typo on behalf of our editor.
Don't you type for him?
No, I type like this. He does like this.
Oh, okay.
Or like this. Let's move on finally to your pick of the game. I don't know. What do you got for me?
Can we talk about Oklahoma and Colorado, like maybe for like a second?
I don't know. I brought it up. You want to talk about it?
I'd like to.
Go ahead.
Didn't you pick Oklahoma to be in the national title game?
I picked Hawaii to be in the national title and Rutgers, who also lost, but we won't talk about that.
Notice how he doesn't like to talk about things that he's usually wrong about.
Well, you got something to say about Oklahoma?
I got nothing to say about any of these crappy teams in college football.
I don't really care either. Eddie?
It's SC and LSU and everybody else.
We'll see you at the end of the season, SC and LSU. Eddie?
Are you going to let me talk, or are you just going to say Eddie and then continue to talk?
I thought it was working so hard. Alright, what else?
Who's your top 5? Quick.
I'm going in no particular order.
No, we were going to give an order.
Oh, you want an order?
Like 1 through 5.
Okay.
5 through 1.
I'm going to go number 1, LSU, because it's a sexy pick right now.
Bitch, you are good.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm going number 2, USC, not to be confused with the University of South Carolina Gamecocks.
Nice of you to put them in the top 5 right now.
Problem. Number 3, shit, I don't even know who I'm going with.
And who cares?
Who's left? Who's going to jump?
Alright, how about we do this? Name 5 college football teams. Go.
Alright, I'm going LSU, my number 1 pick. USC, not to be confused with USC, the Gamecocks.
Oh, you're naming them as well.
I'll name them as well. Alright.
Oklahoma, since we just talked about that.
How about Florida? How about Auburn? I'll go Virginia Tech.
Who are your top 5?
Pick.
Who are your top 5, Ed? Why don't you give us your top 5 here?
We got
Why don't you give us your top
USC
5?
number 1, LSU number 2, Cal number 3.
Cal leapfrogging that much to number 3?
He just wants to give SC some good strength, that's why.
Yeah.
Ohio State, Oregon.
Alright.
Oregon, after the loss?
That's how we do it.
Like
you play a good team, you play well, you lose, you move up.
They're scary.
No, that's the most asinine logic I've ever heard.
Okay, this guy's never
You play a good team, you lose, you move up. So what's the benefit?
You play a good game, you play a good team. If number 3 plays number 4 and they lose, you don't drop down to 11.
He just stumbled over his words right now, you gotta understand.
I understand because last year when Michigan played Ohio State number 1 and 2, Michigan didn't drop that much. But this is like, Oregon was like what, ranked number 11?
Like 48.
And now they're moving up to number 5 after a loss.
Right.
And a sloppy one at that.
That's NCAA week 5 for you guys. Stay tuned next week for our picks for week 6. Ramek, Eddie, Ara, on the buzzer. Thank you.
What was that for?
It was for this.